Hello, namaste. Uh, this video is around autophagy, a kind of awaited video. Many people wanted to learn technical things about autophagy, but before beginning it, let me tell you that it may not be very useful to learn little bit about autophagy because knowing a little bit about it could be dangerous. So there could be two options that you either don't bother about the technicalities of it and then just take go to a space or go to the people who know it and have your autophagy done. Or second thing could be that you really become an expert. And we are open for both the things. We accept people for autophagy, and we also accept people who want to deeply understand about autophagy and become kind of an expert in that. Okay, so let us now begin it. So this is the point when you stopped eating, or we can say this is the point 0 point. It is the point when your fast start. Now, some people like considering this point from the mornings, and some people like considering this point from their last meal. Both these axes, the effect axis and the time axis, none of them are on a scale, and it's not possible to draw them on a scale because there is a lot of variation, there is a lot of deviation. So, well, I have tried drawing something clear and clean, but in reality, things are not so clear and clean. This simplicity I have just taken to make it able to explain it to some extent. So suppose you count the fasting from the point you have taken your last meal, and then you are not eating. Some people have a habit of munching, eating a fruit or taking a tea or coffee or a toffee or a chocolate or something every hour and so. But then you decided, you hold your strong will that I will not eat anything for several hours. And then you eat something. And suppose this time period has been like 16 or 18 hours, then you can call it intermittent fasting. I wouldn't say it would be a good idea to call anything less than 8 or 10 hours as intermittent fasting, because I mean that's the normal time you even sleep and for 8 hours or so, and you don't actually eat in that. But of course, when you wake up in the morning, you call it breakfast. So as if you were on a fast and you have broken it. Well, there are different terms, people use them differently, but of course, if you have not eaten for last 16 or 18 hours, or you are eating and now you are eating, then it would be known as intermittent fast. But if you continue on the fast for say 2-3 days, now let me again see that I have put the intermittent fast here and I'm saying 2-3 days, and then I have put it just here. So if you are not eating for next 2-3 days, then a major change takes place in your body. The energy system of your body changes. Your carbohydrates get depleted, and then your body switches to fat. And this is the point where the ketosis starts. So that is that point. You are no more on carbohydrate, and often at this point you almost stop having hunger pangs, because then you don't have that fluctuation in blood sugar level. Your sugar level is stationary, is pretty flat line, because you are not dependent on that. You are burning your fat, and so your sugar level doesn't move much, and your hunger subsides here. Many people think that not eating for 4 or 6 hours looks so bad. Not eating for one day looks so bad. What happens if I don't eat for a week? Wouldn't my suffering will multiply by 7 days? No, it doesn't happen like that. When ketosis sets in, your hunger vanishes. You feel stable. There is no fluctuation in your blood glucose level. Hunger is less a stomach thing, it's more a brain thing. And brain functions on the basis of fluctuations in the glucose level. And when you are on ketosis, then the fluctuation in glucose level stops and you have pretty stationary thing. So your hunger, in most of the cases, the hunger would go away. It might come back when you see other people eating or you smell something nice. Some people start dreaming about the food, but then you don't feel that strong desire to eat. So this is where the ketosis begins, and you can also consider it as a point where autophagy begins. The first step in autophagy is the detox. So detox is that step when your body pulls out all the unneeded things accumulated in the body. You see, you look at your home or your computer, and you will find that there is a lot of junk. Sometimes we know this is a junk and you throw it away, you put in the trash bin. But then you know that these are the essential things and you can never delete them. Deleting them would be dangerous. That would be a lot of problem. But in between of those two things, the very important or understandably essential things and the junk, there is a huge range of those things which are confusing. You don't know whether I should delete this file or keep it for a few more days. You don't know whether I should keep this dress with me or I should give it away to somebody. So a lot of those confusing things happen. And over and above, there is one more thing that you are exposing. We all are exposing to our body to many new chemicals for which the body has no system to handle. So what does the body do? It just keeps on packing everything confusing and keeps on storing. And actually this accumulation of the waste products or accumulation of the garbage actually is the aging process. If you keep your body clean, then the aging rate is very slow, very low. But if you are making your body a junkyard and you are just dumping too many things, then your body starts aging at a very accelerated rate. Some people's body age could be 60 or 70, even in the age of 30 or 40. So this is how people enter into the accelerated aging zone. So the first thing that happens in autophagy is detox. Body tries to eliminate, burn out, or utilize anything which is not being used. Now comes the point, why doesn't body do this in the normal course? In the normal course, body doesn't do it because in normal course, our digestion is on. And digestion and the brain are two resource guzzlers. They can guzzle almost 60 to 70% of body's resources. And in the remaining 30 to 40% resources, body had to do everything else, like pumping the blood, filtering the thing in the kidney, respiration, everything else has to be managed in that, and also the cleansing and immunity and renewal. So the immunity, cleansing, and renewal, they take a back seat, and very little resource remain available to them. But and of course, digestion and brain to some extent. These two are the things which actually you can slow down or shut off for some time. We don't need to eat all the time. Our bodies, every life form is designed around this, that the body could stay for quite long without eating. Actually, many things happen when you don't eat, like you say, think the metamorphosis that takes place when a butterfly is made. If that keeps on eating, then the butterfly would not be made. So many such nice things happen, and otherwise also our body is designed to remain without food for quite some time. And it's not at all necessary that you should take breakfast always on this time, like 8:30 or 9, and the lunch sharply at 1:15. There is nothing like that. Naturally, we are designed to operate in uncertainty because food has always been uncertain in the nature. It's only now that food is available in abundance, and we have a certainty because we have a refrigerator, or we have a services, or we have a lot of food stocked being cooked at home. So we have certainty of food and surplus of food. That is why we are putting so much of food inside us. So not eating for a few days is not at all dangerous, and it's absolutely fine. But how long, that remains a big question mark. So this is how, when you are not eating, then the 30-40% resources that are going to the digestion, And mind it, digestion is not just chewing or putting enzymes. Then you have to make the enzymes, you have to absorb, you have to send it to many parts in the body. There is a very, very long process, and then you have to excrete also. So then, because you are saved from all that burden, it's like that, as if you have earned some money, you can proceed on holiday. So if you have extra stored calories in your body, and most people these days are having 5, 10, or some people even 20, 30 kilo of extra fat in their body. So they are rich people. You have already stored a lot. There is no need to keep working, and you can proceed on holiday. Fasting is like proceeding on holiday, because digestion is a work. So you don't do that work. You don't do the work of eating. You don't do the work of digesting. You don't do the work of excretion, that particular thing. So you are putting your system on the holiday. And what happens that these resources, which were going for the digestion, and also if you could pull some resources from the brain, if you don't indulge into much brain activity that period, then this easily 30-40% can go for the repair and renewal, and you could become new, you could become disease free. And fasting actually is the fastest way of getting rid of the diseases. There is no way which is as fast as is the fasting itself, because in fasting your repair and renewal becomes almost tenfold. Now, subsequent to the detox, you enter into a zone which could be called as reboot. Your body, or each cell, all your enzyme, hormonal system, everything is checked for errors, and then things are repaired and renewed accordingly. So a whole reboot takes place in your body. And in these two stages of detox and reboot, most of your diseases disappear. Now, there is one more important thing here to understand about reboot. Reboot, for reboot to really to happen, you really need to have your things or your map in a proper order. And one of the things that has gone wrong with us is our gene switching. You see, all biological system operate on the basis of DNA. DNA is the thing which has the complete map of all the structure and functionality. So we have thousands of genes in the body, and then there is a switching system around that. It's like a music system that you have to press this key and now this and that and that, and that is how you get a proper music coming out. Not that you press all the keys all the time. So there is a switching system around the genes, and this switching system has gone haywire, because when this switching system was developed, and it took millions of years in developing this switching system, technically it's known as epigenetics, that how your genes are operating. The period it took was millions of years, and in those millions of years we always lived in nature. But now we have moved to the cities. We might be thinking that we have a house and people have been living in the cities for hundreds of years, quite some time. No, but in last couple of decades, there has been a dramatic change in our living style. And that is why many switches have got disturbed. So for this switching to become better, switching to reach to the normal point, it is necessary that this whole process is done in a forest, because it is the kind of relationship with the forest that this actually fine tunes itself. It doesn't fine tune itself in the city, and in my belief, actually the main reason of most of the diseases is some problem with the gene switching. There are a number of deviations in the city. Like, think even of the room you live in. You live in a rectangular room made of cement and concrete. This is unnatural. Rectangular is not a natural shape. There is nothing rectangular in the nature. There is nothing square in the nature. In nature, things are circular, round, or organically shaped. So in those angles, in rectangular things, energies are different. Cement and concrete are very artificial things, and the walls made of cement and concrete have no breathing. So, well, basically, we are designed to be outdoor mostly, and sometimes to be in places where there is good breathing. But those walls are not breathing. It's only the mud walls that, or lime walls to some extent, that the walls breathe. So even the basic structure is wrong, and then the over and above there are a lot many chemicals around. There is lot much of the noise, vibration, light, and there is lot of electrical and magnetic field. Mobile towers, your own Wi-Fi, lot of electrical cables, TV, refrigerator, many things. Now all these forces disturb this switching. So it is important that that you go to the forest, and in going in the forest, actually these switches become good. So this kind of effect, this effect, reboot effect, probably will never happen in the city, and even if it happened, it would be very distorted. And then the third stage the body enters is the renewal, and in this stage actually a lot of stem cells are formed, and many cells, many things start becoming new. You can also call this as the biological age reversal. You continue to remain I mean growing on papers, but actually your body doesn't grow that much. So this is how you can slow down the aging process. Also, you can reverse it to some extent, and this also would happen only in the forest. And then of course this changes to the starvation, and that is a problematic zone that we should never enter into, because in this zone all the things that are built on autophagy are lost. And finally, because if you don't eat too many days, you would die, anybody would die. So this lead to the death. So it is important that this is recognized, that where is the point that it has to be stopped. Now another problem is this, that if you want to operate very safe, then you would operate at very low level, but then you will never have these things. You see, it's the key of the adventure, that when you go like to some extent that side, you have the advantages also, and you have a risk also, and you have to make a balance, that how much risk and how much advantages. And that is where a lot of expertise is required, and that is why it is not recommended to do autophagy by yourself. The autophagy must always be supervised. Sehatvan's all health and fitness module have some amount of autophagy involved in that. And there are some questions around. People like to take a few of them. First is this: what is good, have doing intermittent fasting or autophagy fasting? Now these two are different things. Intermittent fasting is good. Eating too much is not good. Eating too frequently is not good. So certainly intermittent fasting is good, but there are things that will happen with autophagy. They can probably be never achieved by intermittent fasting. People may think that suppose if they do intermittent fasting for months or years, would they be able to be achieving these effects? It's doubtful. Second is this, that whether you should do the autophagy in the forest, you should fast in a forest, or in a city. I would strongly recommend doing it in a proper forestic setting. And well, there are now some places which are located in the forest, but which are very modern in construction. There would again be rectangular rooms. It would all again be of cement and concrete, and it would again be too much electricity and things around. So indoor thing would not be good. So it should actually be real nature. Uh, as you can see from this figure, that doing it in city has very limited advantages. You actually don't do much better. On the contrary, you might have some symptoms which could be difficult, and there could be some withdrawal things, and things might go a bit wrong also. So I never recommend anybody doing autophagy in a city setting. And autophagy should always be considered as a major gift to yourself, because you are giving new life to yourself. So this is a major gift. It should not be treated like something very petty or small. Entering and exiting the fast is as important as the fast itself. The rule of thumb is this, that you should spend as much time in the preparation as you intend to spend in actual fast, and equal amount in exiting. Suppose you are planning a 2 week or 3 week fast. That would mean that you should strengthen your body and mind for 2-3 weeks to enter into the fasting. You should do that, and then you should again slowly come out of it in 2-3 weeks time. Doing it in a hurried manner is not a good idea. We have seen it that people who start fast in a rush don't reach deeper. At Sehatvan, we always recommend people to strengthen themselves. Spend a couple of weeks here before you start a fast, so your body and mind are strong, and then you will really be able to enter deeper into it. Likewise, abruptly coming out of the fast and start eating just anything is not a good idea. You got to build up gradually on the things. So entering and exiting are important point. Now, sometimes we are required to abruptly end the fast, because what happens that in the detox state, different people have different symptoms. With some people, the fast may go very smooth. Some people actually feel much more happiness, feel much more pleasure, feel much more creative while fasting compared to the normal days. They are happier, they are much more energetic while they are fasting. But with some people, it may not happen that. If you have some built-in toxicities, and those toxicities will come out, you might have some acid reflux, you might have diarrhea, you might have vomiting, you might have some pains. Different people have different issues, and then depending upon the severity of a particular system, one need to judiciously decide whether to continue fast or to terminate fast. So there would come, even if you might have planned to go for 2-3 weeks or more, there might come a point that it would be a good idea to stop the fast. So that is another reason that the fast should be always supervised. So in this video, I have fairly covered about the intermittent fasting, about the ketosis, detox, reboot, renewal, autophagy, and starvation. So I encourage you to work on it, plan for it, and keep doing a fast. Some people don't go on autophagy because of 2-3 reasons. One reason is, most commonly people cite, is this, that people say that they don't have time. Now the funny thing is this, that the only way to have time is reversing your biological age. The only way to have time is by staying healthy. The only way to have time is by autophagy. Roughly, when you invest 1 week in autophagy, you are rewarded by almost 1 year. So no investment like this gives you the return. So actually, it may look like that by going on a fast, you would be needing to not do your work, and it would be a long investment on the time scale. Actually, it is opposite, because by doing fast, you go back to your biological age and you get new years. So that is why it is actually not a time expenditure, it is a time investment with huge returns. Likewise, some people think that it is a costly affair, because that then you don't work in that time and you go a place and then there is a fees and things like that, so it may not be affordable. Again, it is opposite actually, because by going in autophagy, you reverses your disease conditions. So if there is any money you are already spending on your sicknesses, on your medications, that money is saved, and also your future bills are saved to over 90%. Your emergencies are reduced dramatically, so you don't spend much on the medications. Some people may think that having a good medical insurance is a better idea than physically or directly working on the health, because physically directly working on health requires effort and time, while buying a medical insurance is easy. You can just go on the website, click, and then done. You have the medical insurance. But always keep in mind, medical insurance never guarantees that you will not fall sick. Medical insurance never guarantees that you will not have the suffering. Medical insurance only says that you can fall sick now and your bills will be taken care of. Now, bills are a secondary thing. First thing is this, that you would like not to be sick. You would like not to suffer. So it is always good idea. The better insurance is to work on your health than trying to do it financially. See, biology operates differently. Biology doesn't operate that much financially or democratically. It's not like this that you decide something and biology will start behaving like that. No, biological system operates in their own way. So it's always a good idea to spend time and effort on your health, and health actually is really a true wealth, and there is no better way of boosting your health than autophagy. Autophagy is the fastest way of getting rid of most of the disease conditions.